Discussion this morning is about 3 jobs you need to do before you get to results and outcome. Here's an issue. We all look at the scoreboard and we all want to have the scoreboard tick over, and we all want to walk off the court saying, hey, I won that match. Because typically it makes us feel better. It kind of like boosts the ego a little bit, it boosts the self-confidence a little bit. But the reality is, it's like a recipe. If you bake a cake, but you don't take care of the recipe, you don't take care of the ingredients and how you mix it, how you put it together, the outcome is not ideal. So especially for you as a tennis player, everything you do needs to be process driven. So meaning that unless I take care of my process, and I'm going to break that down, I'm going to say, okay, what are the most important things in my process on a daily basis that I need to take care of? And if I take care of these things, I'm more likely to get a W. I'm more likely to get a higher UTR. Everybody goes, hey, what's your UTR? And we all focus on like, hey, I need to get to that next UTR. The reality is, the next UTR is going to ask something better, something more, something more consistent, something faster, something stronger, something smarter in your process. Oh, there it is again, that same word, process. So unless I understand the elements, the 3 elements, the most important elements in my process to take care of, then I'm not going to get to outcome. So first and foremost, I'm going to basically tell you that the number 1 part of your process is the letter A. And I'm pretty sure if I ask you guys, you'll understand what that means. I got to take care of my attitude. So every time I'm out there and I'm looking to take care of the scoreboard, taking care of the process, my job first and foremost is my attitude. Because, let me explain it to you this way. If I don't take care of my attitude, that becomes like a virus. Now let me give you a little quote here. A bad attitude is like a flat tire. It won't get you anywhere until you change it. Now I don't know who came up with that quote, but think about it. If your vehicle, your tennis vehicle, has got a flat tire, it's either going really slow or it's not going to get you where you want it. So attitude affects our thinking. And like a virus, we can even think about like an operating system. Your phone runs off an operating system, your computer. At the moment, that operating system isn't ideal. So my thinking isn't ideal. It's affected by something. Then your outcome is definitely going to be affected by that. So I'll quickly write down for you the sequence of things, the elements that we're going to take care of in order to get outcome. So first is attitude, then number 2 is an I, then E, and then lastly is outcome/result. We'll go through all of these: attitude, intent, execution, and all of this will lead to outcome and result. So let's break it down. I'm going to give you another quote on attitude. And this is a really good speech by a guy with a lot of disabilities. He was born and he grew up with all these disabilities. But he had a quote and he said, the only disability in life is a bad attitude. So this guy had so many reasons. From his birth, he had disabilities. And what he figured out is that the only disability for him actually is if he had a bad attitude. That he could achieve and do anything if his attitude was good. Now, if you really sit and think about yourself, what is your attitude Now we might say, hey, my attitude is good right now. Let's go a little bit further. What is your attitude when things go wrong? When you don't get your way? That is the key. We don't have a good attitude because things are going well. We have a good attitude because we want things to go well. Again, the nature of competition is that it's not supposed to go well. Your opponent's supposed to make it tough. So if anything then steals your attitude from you, then forget about the rest. Number one element to take care of that'll lead to result is attitude. And you simply have to make a choice. Nothing is going to steal my attitude. Now, attitude also leads to energy. If you're sitting here, and I ask you to make me a list of the things that steal your attitude. I'm sure we can come up with quite a few things. In the end, your opponent is not going to feel sorry for you. In fact, if you don't take care of your attitude, you're quite simply helping your opponent. Your opponent goes like, that's it, keep sliding, all right? Keep losing it, keep being negative, because all you're doing is helping me. Now let's go a little bit further than attitude. Attitude needs to be reflected in your body language. Because your body language in the end is like a fruit tree. It shows us my body language. I can't tell people that I'm an apple tree, yet I'm bearing lemons. So you can't tell people, hey, I have a good attitude, but my body language shouts differently. And I remember one of the coaches I worked with, Coach Land, he would say, hey, your body language yells from a distance where you're at mentally. So again, and I got to tell you guys something. I was not the best tennis player out there. But man, the moment I played against somebody with bad body language or making excuses, complaints, I would lock in. Because I made a choice that I'm not losing to a mentally weak player. If that player isn't in control of themselves, especially if we know things in competition go wrong, I locked in. I'm going to let go, hey, I'm going to squeeze another error from you. Let me take you to the edge. I'm going to take you there and you're going to jump. So the point is, nothing can steal your attitude. And yes, things will go wrong. And yes, you're going to lose. Tennis is the sport that you lose more than any other sport in the world. So deal with that fact. But make a choice, make a decision that nothing steals your attitude. And if you don't feel your forehand and you're tired today, you're frustrated because of somebody else, okay, it's still a choice. Nobody forces your attitude onto you. But let's talk about that. What if I got cheated? What if somebody frustrated me? You telling me that they determine your attitude? Okay, now we got a big problem in life. Nobody determines your attitude but you. So it is a conscious choice. Have some strength, have some discipline, have some willpower, but make it a choice. Okay, let's move on. Intent. Now, intent is quite simply dots to connect. If I ask you, let's say you absolutely believe in myself as a coach, and I say, okay, Vegeta, I want you to run. And Vegeta, yeah, man, she trusts me, and she goes for a run. But now as Vegeta is running, she goes like, well, how fast? How far? And the more vague we are, if we don't get specific with our brains, we don't have dots to connect. Same in terms of goal setting. If you don't have specific goals, if you're not clearly knowing what your end product needs to look like, your brain's going to struggle to connect those dots. Well, let's talk about intent. And remember, these are the 3 jobs you're going to take care of before you can get results. We can call them elements, we can call them like a lot of different things. But intent gives you direction. It's like a finishing line, meaning dots to connect. So now that your brain's got dots to connect, it can tell the body what to do and how to do it. Intent could be like in a drill that I am trying to hit a target. I'm precise. I'm telling my body, my strokes, my feet, everything. Hey, that's the spot I want to hit. Intent could be a number, a rally number, saying, hey, I want to make 5 shots in a row. Intent could be, hey, tactical intent. Very important. Don't play a point unless you have tactical intent. So meaning that, no, this is how I need to apply myself tactically against this specific opponent. We see a lot of players growing up and they're doing baskets and they get baskets of feeding. And they feel good about their tennis. And all they focus on is execution. But hey, I got a surprise for you. Execution is third in line. Because in the match, when things go wrong, you have attitude. And then, if you have execution, but you don't have direction, you don't have intent, it's still no good. If you're not playing tactically the right way. So intent is yours to take care of. And it helps you in the end to execute because it gives the brain dots to connect. So every time you play, we can give it another word here. Purpose. You must have purpose every moment out there. So let's fast forward now to execution. This is a big one because what I see that every single young, inexperienced competitor, all they take care of is execution. And that concerns me. My wife showed me this morning a really funny little TikTok clip. A really good coach, one of the best coaches I know, Coach Ashley Hobson. His player won Roland Garros Juniors last year. Incredibly smart guy. And he posted this little video of a monkey hitting volleys, hitting ground strokes. And what he said is, hey, even a monkey can do it. Execution. Even monkeys can do it. But this is the difficult part. This is the difficult part. He says anybody can hit a ball. But what people don't get right is this. Now, so I'm going to say to you that if you put this one up top, you're never going to succeed. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. You're not going to succeed. So you're that player that just hits baskets of balls and you feel good about how you hit it when there's no applied pressure, mentally, physically, tactically. Now we've got a problem. And how many of you guys turn a good day into a bad day because you're not feeling your forehand? Or you just hit 14 good, we don't say 13, 14 good forehands, and number 15 you miss. But guess what? All you focus on is number 15. You got it wrong. You're seeing what is wrong. You're seeing what is broken. Change your perspective. See what you did wrong. You just hit 14 good shots. But the bigger problem here is that you're focusing too much on execution. Let's talk about execution then. Execution, we have two schools of approach. We have the mentality that I need to make every shot, typically like a perfectionist. Now the danger in that, I don't mind that. Make the shot mentality. Yes, it is a mentality. And that's going to be your standard, that when I put my strings to the ball, I'm going to make that shot. Because it brings about urgency. It makes you play with purpose, with good intent. But the danger with that is if you feel that you're going to make every shot, even if you make every shot, even if you do everything right in tennis, you're still going to lose that point. That's tennis. So the reality is, you just got to do it again. But if you miss that shot, and you yourself steal your attitude, and you yourself stop playing with purpose and intent, now you got a really big problem, because execution is going to become even tougher. So I'm saying to you, that yes, make the shot. And you've got to have urgency about making the shot. But you do need to allow yourself to miss, because it is in missing that we find the answers. Greatest teacher in life is life. Because when you miss, you say, hey, it's the truth, I missed. You don't accept it happening again, because listen, making the same mistake over and over and over, that means you're not adjusting, you're not making changes. And the biggest reason why people miss in the same way over and over and over is because they quite simply, when they don't execute, they get negative. They compromise their attitudes. And they try and do the same thing harder, but they keep missing. It's okay to miss, but it's not okay to be okay with missing. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying. Think about it. It is okay to miss, but it's not okay to be okay with it. So when you miss, learn from it. Failure. But remember, the lesson is hidden, and you're going to search for it. You're going to figure it out. And when it comes to execution, several things can influence your execution. Could be timing, could be technique, could be footwork, could be that you quite simply didn't read the ball. You're not in the moment. So, as there are so many things, you make your adjustment. One of the biggest things that I find when people stop executing on a day, this is the biggest reason why players have a bad day, where they feel negative, because they're not feeling their shots. And then they just run with that emotion. When you don't execute in a match, do you realize that it's not just about you? It's not just about you. Make it about the opponent. Say, okay, fine. I don't have my weapon today, but I'm going to pick up a rock. Today I'm going to test you with a slice. Today I'm going to hit some drop shots. Because no, yes, if you're one-dimensional, then you've got a problem. So this is why you got to be more than one dimension as a tennis player. So say, okay, hold on. I'm going to throw the kitchen sink in. But don't sulk. Don't be so bad about execution. Make a little adjustment. And this is the thing I want you to realize. You're never that far from playing great or terrible. It takes little adjustments, constant little adjustments. The beauty of tennis is that we don't win matches in the beginning or in the middle. We win it when we make things work out. And again, it starts with attitude, play with intent, and then execute. Little adjustments until you find your execution. I want to bring you with another thing about execution is we don't wake up every day the same. Some days we wake up and we feel good. Some days we didn't sleep. Some days physically we're shocked. And on those days you must accept it and you say, okay, hey, I'm not feeling great today, but how do I need to go about it differently to execute today? How do I go differently about my attitude? And maybe my tactical intent changes because today I can't run around behind the baseline. I'm physically shocked. So do I want to spend a lot of time running side to side? Or do I play forward a bit more? I get to the net a little bit more. I take a bit more risk on the first phase. Guys, everything we're talking about here comes from your thinking. Your thinking, again, attitude, will give you good purpose and intent. It'll help you to find execution. And only after you take care of attitude, intent, execution, and that order, first attitude, second intent, then execution, only in that order. If then you don't get the outcome and the result, now we go back. What do I change? What do I adapt? I see like players lose a point and they get negative and they go like this. So I asked them, hey, what was your attitude? What did you intend to do there? Okay? Did you get your execution right? Don't get upset, don't get negative, don't be disappointed and result in outcome if you're not taking care of the top 3 elements. So what I'm saying to you is, have urgency with your process. When you miss or you lose a point, but you took care of attitude, you took care of intent, you took care of execution, it's going to happen a lot in tennis. Then you're going to be okay with yourself. You say, hey, I'm doing the job. And the reality is, when you take care of attitude, intent, execution, you're still going to lose the point about 30% of the time. But you're going to look at the numbers. The numbers, when you take care of this, this, and this, will come in your favor. So don't focus on your short-term pain. As long as you know I took care of attitude, intention, execution, then that short-term hurting, that losing, that failure is not that bad, because you know 70% of the time it's going to work out. So I want to challenge you. Change the way you approach it. This means I'm process driven. And what we said in the process, there are 3 main elements to take care of. And then the next time you're competing, what do we put under attitude? And under attitude comes thinking. Remember what shuts down attitude, which then in the end shuts down intent and thinking, is our emotions. Just going with how we feel. Yes, feel that way. But what do I need to do? What's going to happen here? What is the task at hand? The task is to accept that things go wrong. And when things go wrong, that's the time for me to change. It's the truth. But I gotta keep having intent. And then we have a better chance to execute. So, guys, the 3 elements, the 3 jobs you're gonna take care of every time you practice, every time you compete. It's quite simple. But what happens, and this is why so many people get stuck with certain UTRs, because all they focus on is results, outcome. They go like, oh, I just gotta play this one, next one, next one. And if I win against this player, because this player is a higher or lower UTR, then guess what? My UTR will go up. Get your game in place. Get your attitude in place. Get your intent in place. Get your execution right on the practice court. Master yourself. Master yourself at that level. Then you go to the tournament and you try and master what is on the other side of the net. That's how it works, not the other way around. And if you can change your thinking about it, you'll have an advantage, because most of the kids out there, most of the young competitors, and sorry to say, a lot of parents, even a lot of coaches, all they demand of you is results, results, results. But hey, if you don't know how to do this, then how are you going to take care of this? But by the way, this here, your job. Coach, whoever else gives you information, they're only navigators. You're the driver. This is your project. So you have to own that. You have to be on top of it. You go, but coach, hey, I'm only a kid. I'm only young. Oh yeah, of course. But the quicker you learn to do it, the better you make yourself. Bigger chance you have to succeed, and even at a younger age. So, I hope I influenced your thinking about your development and your process today. And remember, there's a lot of detail that can be discussed under each of these areas. So, realize that if you want to make something of yourself as a tennis player, you got to actually see it as college, as university. You got to become a student of your own development, a student of the game. And like a student, you then need to master it in here. And that will become this. Alright guys, so I wish you all the best with that. If you have any specific questions, feel free to ask.